it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good.
So fun. It was quite threatening, actually, and quite, you know, if I was a bit of a snowflake, then I'd have been upset. I'd have been offended by it because it was threatening, he was calling it on, and he was saying basically watch your back and you don't want to go back to prison, so he needs to be careful, doesn't he?
I want to come out and apologise because I feel, you know, it's appropriate to make that apology to the people who came to the press conference and the viewing audiences. I sincerely apologise, and I'll try and improve.
You don't hear any of that shit because that's not me. It is what it is. No point crying over spilled milk.
Joshua, it's like, come on, like you can't be serious. You can't.
Tommy Fury isn't holding back here, and honestly fans love him for it. While most sons would defend their dad no matter what, Tommy is calling it exactly as he sees it. John Fury picking a fight with Carl Froch at this stage of his life looks reckless, and Tommy knows it.
That automatically makes me two-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden, he's...
Tyson distancing himself from his father's chaos speaks volumes. The Gypsy King built his legacy on discipline inside the ring, while John Fury keeps making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Even Tyson seems tired of cleaning up the mess his dad keeps creating.
He obviously needs the help, and yeah, I'm not getting involved in pettiness.
Yes, I was. But what did I make of it? I think commercially and a business sense, thought it was absolutely fantastic. Both men made a ton of money.
A forced apology doesn't erase the embarrassment John Fury caused. Notice how he tries to shift blame by saying he wasn't alone. Classic deflection instead of full accountability. Tommy Fury watching this from the sidelines must be cringing, knowing this is exactly the disgrace he was talking about.
Good morning, people. Just want to make a quick apology for my inappropriate language yesterday. You know, it's unacceptable. I accept that. You know, but emotions run high, we get involved, and it is the fight game. It was pandemonium. You know, but let me sincerely apologise for my outburst of language. You know, I wasn't alone doing it, but I want to come out and apologise because I feel, you know, it's appropriate to make that apology to the people who came to the...
You told me the hot tub? What? Oh, you don't know. You want my dad's name? Okay, good one. Good one. Okay, so look. Don't make me release the picture and then you see what happens. Student Tony. I don't want to go to Nicky. I don't want to go to Fury. The best fights in the world.
It actually went to lawyers. John Fury's stubbornness turned a verbal spat into a legal mess, dragging the Fury name through courtrooms instead of just admitting he crossed a line. Tommy's frustration with his dad makes complete sense now.
We asked him to apologise for the comments, and he wouldn't do so. So we filed a lawsuit against him, and we'll leave it in the hands of the lawyers.
Carl Froch isn't some random opponent John Fury can bully into silence. The Cobra has the resume, the world titles, and the credibility to back up every word. John Fury threatening a man with actual prison references instead of boxing talk shows just how far out of line he went. Froch staying composed here while John loses his cool only highlights the difference in class between the two men, and it's clear why Tommy is embarrassed by his father's behavior.
He's talking nonsense, and he'd like to play the Cobra down, but he can't because I've got the backing, I've got the credentials. You know what I'm saying? He can't rubbish the Cobra and say that I don't deserve to be where I'm at.
Eddie Hearn basically confirming what every boxing fan is thinking. Carl Froch is not the man to make empty threats towards. Hearn's blunt honesty here paints a worrying picture for John Fury, because if this actually goes physical, Froch has the pedigree to make him regret every single word. Tommy Fury warning his dad about this exact outcome now looks like genuine concern, not disrespect.
The reason that I like that little bit of beef, right? One is because I'm not involved, and two, because Carl's not the kind of geezer who you can start saying, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and if I see you, because you can say that to me, I'm a wet lettuce. You can't say that to Carl Froch.
John Fury actually crossing the line into physical contact is exactly the kind of disgrace Tommy was referring to. The British Boxing Board of Control stepping in and finding him confirms this wasn't just heated talk, it was serious misconduct. For a man of his age and experience, this should never have happened.
Actually, so there will be an appeal taking place. So that fine could be reduced or it could be increased. It goes in front of a completely independent appeal.
Johnny Nelson's dry humor here doesn't hide the real point. John Fury is becoming a repeat offender. An expensive miscalculation indeed, and one that keeps damaging the Fury family reputation every single time he loses control. Tommy must be watching this pattern with growing frustration.
And if he does it again and he's over, he's going to get fined again. And I don't know if it's by the pound, by the ounce, what he's getting fined for, but it's an expensive...
Calling it entertainment is being generous. This was a grown man losing all composure in front of cameras. John Fury going straight for Carl Froch without thinking shows exactly the lack of discipline Tommy has been calling out, and it's becoming harder to defend.
Being John Fury, went straight for him. I'm not quite sure what he was going to do if he got to him, but I guess that was the entertainment from the press conference.
Flipping a table at a press conference. This is exactly the kind of chaos that has dragged the Fury name through the mud over and over again. John Fury claiming it took 20 men to hold him back sounds more like an excuse to justify his loss of control than something to be proud of. This is a grown man, a father, supposedly a mentor figure, behaving in a way that embarrasses his own sons on national platforms. Tommy Fury calling him a disgrace doesn't seem harsh anymore. It seems completely justified when you watch moments like this unfold. Carl Froch staying composed throughout only makes John Fury's outburst look even worse by comparison, and the boxing world is taking notice of who's really acting like a professional here.
You can see I'm fucking ready to go, man. It took 20 fucking men to hold me. It took fucking 20 minutes to hold me back. Where are you, you fucking warrior? I'll push them fucking... I'll push them Superman big for your fucking ass. I'll push them Superman like this. Push your fucking ass.
Even Derek Chisora, who clearly respects John Fury, can't help but call out his erratic behavior, suggesting he go fight Joey Egan instead of headbutting young boys at events. When someone who genuinely likes you is publicly telling you to redirect your aggression elsewhere, that should be a wake-up call. John Fury seems to be picking the wrong battles at every turn, and it's exactly this pattern that has Tommy Fury fed up with his father's antics overshadowing the family name.
John Fury, he's always defending his kids, yeah? Point number one, yeah? John Fury should fight that Irish guy. I also have a traveller guy who keeps calling him out in London. I forgot his... Joey Egan. That fight should happen.
John Fury wants credit for being authentic, but authenticity isn't an excuse for repeated outbursts, threats, and physical altercations. Apologizing after the fact doesn't undo the damage done in the heat of the moment, and at his age, with his experience in this sport, there's simply no justification left. Tommy Fury watching his father say this same apology over and over must feel like déjà vu, because nothing ever actually changes. This is precisely why Tommy went public with his frustration, because private words clearly weren't getting through to John. Being real shouldn't mean being reckless, and that's the lesson John Fury still hasn't learned.
Who I am, I'm a real person, I'm not a fake person, nothing's scripted, it just happens when it happens. But again, I apologise for my inappropriate language, and if I've offended anybody, I'm deep.
Johnny Nelson is being diplomatic here, but the truth is clear. John Fury keeps losing control, and someone always has to clean up after him. Now the pressure is on him to behave, and given his track record, fans aren't holding their breath. Tommy Fury stepping in as that someone who finally had a word with him makes complete sense, because clearly nobody else's warnings have worked so far. This entire saga shows a pattern of behavior that the boxing world is growing tired of, and Tommy seems to be the only one in the family brave enough to call it out publicly instead of quietly tolerating it.
John is an emotional being, gets into the moment, forgets himself. You can see, excuse the bad language, but this is, when you see that, this is the moment when he realised he beat up. It was that, when John had done it, like, shit, what have I done? But he had to own it. I think the pressure was on. The pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted. A lot of attention.
This is the harsh reality John Fury doesn't want to hear. He simply isn't the world-class fighter he believes himself to be. Picking a fight with someone like Carl Froch, an actual world champion with real credentials, exposes a serious gap between John's confidence and his actual ability. Dave Allen isn't being cruel here, he's being honest, And honesty is exactly what John Fury needs right now instead of more enablers around him. This is the core of why Tommy Fury is so frustrated. His father is chasing a fight he has no business taking, risking embarrassment for the entire family, and refusing to listen to anyone telling him to stop. At some point, fitness and bravado simply aren't enough against real world-class experience.
I just don't think he does. I don't think he has the experience. I don't think he's had the time to become that. I think he's a great athlete. I think he's super fit, but he's not a world class. He's not a world class fighter, in my opinion.
There it is. Even pundits like Duke McKenzie are admitting it openly. John Fury thrives on chaos because it gets attention, even if it's the worst kind of attention possible. He knows exactly how to shout, threaten, and swear his way into headlines. And somehow the public keeps rewarding that behavior with views and clicks. But entertainment value doesn't excuse the disrespect, the threats, or the embarrassment he keeps causing for his own family. Tommy Fury clearly sees through this circus act, while the rest of the boxing world seems happy to just sit back and enjoy the drama. At some point, chaos for the sake of chaos stops being charming and starts looking exactly like what Tommy called it, a disgrace to the family name.
I mean, listen, it's boxing, it's family. John's John. Both goading each other. Both very personal. Both means a lot to everybody. Shouldn't have done it.
So here's where it really stands. Tommy Fury has said what so many fans have been thinking for months. John Fury picking this fight with Carl Froch was never about boxing pride. It was about ego, and now the entire family name is caught in the crossfire. What's truly at stake here isn't just a fight. It's John Fury's credibility, the Fury legacy, and whether this whole saga ends in further embarrassment if Carl Froch somehow gets involved properly and the situation escalates. Expect John Fury to come out on the losing end. The Cobra has the pedigree, the composure, and the credentials John simply doesn't have anymore. But if, against all odds, John Fury manages to shock the world and hold his own, will that silence Tommy's criticism? Or will it just prove that chaos works for John no matter the cost to those around him? Mentally, Carl Froch looks like the calmer, more composed figure in all of this, while John Fury seems driven purely by emotion and ego. Who wants it more? Right now, it looks like John Fury wants to prove a point more than he wants to actually win anything meaningful. What do you think? Is Tommy Fury right to call out his own father like this? Or has he gone too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know whose side you're really on.